honored guests. I recently went on a wonderful trip. I hadn't been to the Pacific Northwest for a long time, once in high school. So I went on a vacation and I came back with a lot of facts of things that I didn't even know about. I also came back with a few little interesting quirks, like Birkenstock-like sandals, sunflower seeds, an owl totem, and sort of a hippie look. But the thing that impressed me most, besides the lush greenness and the wonderful primitive feel of the atmosphere out there, were the totem poles. I have pictures. Just look at this one. They have the most amazing public art in Vancouver. And I want to tell you a little bit about it. By the way, we have a totem pole in Chicago, but I'll get back to that later. I want to do this by telling you that totem poles are called story poles. So I'm going to use the first letter of each of the word story to tell you a little bit about it. S stands for symbol, T stands for totem, O stands for odd, R stands for rises up, and Y stands for your visual tale. Now, to begin with, you should know that totem poles are carved out of wood, usually cedar, and they usually represent a story or a special event in the life of a particular clan of people. They use symbols carved into this large pole, and the symbols run up and down the pole. So some of them are as high as 40 and 50 feet. On these poles are animal spirit totems. So there are things like thunderbirds. And the lore of thunderbirds is that the wings cause thunder, and when they blink their eyes, you get lightning. Other ones are bears, which are protectors, powerful protectors, and owls, which indicate great knowledge. Now, clans choose various representative totems, and then they use them on their totem poles. So, have you heard the phrase, low man on the totem pole? And what does that mean to you?
You're on the bottom.
You're on the bottom. On the bottom of what?
Of the ranking of all these
Of
figures.
the ranking. Hierarchies. This is what's so interesting about this stuff. This is a cultural misunderstanding we've got going here. We always think in terms of hierarchies. On a totem pole, just because you're on the bottom doesn't mean anything. It could be the most important symbol is on the bottom. O for odd. The cultures that started totem poles had no written languages. So if they wanted to shame somebody publicly, they put up a shaming totem pole. And it said, so-and-so's clan did not pay their debt. This is how they communicated because there was no written language. Another thing I found interesting and odd was you can have a totem pole made today, a custom totem pole. Only the very wealthy people invested in totem poles, and it's still the same today. I personally know of a very wealthy woman who had a totem pole carved that told the important stories of her immediate family. R stands for rises up. Rises up like a tree, like a grand tree toward the sun. That's the concept. proud, tall, and growing. And then Y stands for your visual tale. So you're relating your story on this totem pole. The interesting thing is it's all custom. So the story is a very particular tale. It's your visual tale. Now, I mentioned that we have a totem pole here in Chicago. Getting to the Kraft cheese family, he was the one who donated our 40-foot totem pole in Lincoln Park at Addison, just east of Lakeshore Drive. These totem poles don't last that long. They last usually less than 100 years because they're wood. So the next time you're in the Pacific Northwest, you don't need to come home with pictures really, or sunflower seeds, or even a little totem. But what you need to come home with is the appreciation for the amazing public art that is totem poles.